Demo Donna here with Sparkle and Sprinkle, and these are our adorably fun cards for the March Video Kit Club. And there are two different renditions. You are going to be receiving 3 of these cool boards from Want to Scrap, and these are chipboard with the 3 different bird designs in them, and therefore you have the options of doing the 3 cards with the small bird flourish or the 3 cards with the 2. So you can mix and match to get your total of 5 cards. So we are going to start with decorating our bird flourish. So I'm going to set these aside so you can keep a little eye on them. And I'm going to show you how to remove your bird flourish. So I'm simply going to take this longer, stronger part here, and that's what I'm going to use to pop out, there we go, my little piece of chipboard. Now if you've got a little piece left over, you can use an X-Acto knife and just snip it off, or you can even cut it with scissors. So I am going to take my piece of chipboard, and I'm not going to do it over my coffee filter, I'm going to do it on a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to take my embossing ink. So I'm using the Stampendous embossing ink. This makes it nice and easy. You don't get your Versamark pad dirty by putting the laser cut, which has the burnt edges on it, into your Versamark pad. So I'm going to be using the embossing ink, and I'm just dabbing over the whole thing. I'm not squeezing it. If you start squeezing and dabbing, what you're going to do is push all the liquid out, and it might pop and break open on your paper. So just lightly tap. It does not, you do not have to squeeze it. It's going to come out all on its own. So don't make that mistake. All right, so once we've got that finished, I am going to take my beautiful embossing powder, and this is Mint Julep, and this is such a fun color, and this comes in your kit. And after I've put the embossing powder on it, I'm going to tap that off, and I am going to heat set my entire piece of chipboard. Once you've finished heat setting, which I've done to this one here, you can go ahead and do a second layer of it. I'm pretty happy with the first layer that I did. It's nice and covered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my tweezer tool again, and I'm just going to give it a little extra heat. So I'm just heating the base of my bird. And then I'm going to add my magic speckle. And it will stick to the melted embossing powder, the first layer that we put down. So now I'm going to give it a little extra heat again, and I'm going to melt my magic speckle. Now you can see how beautiful that is. And I did it on a darker color here, so you can really see how it shows up. It creates this really beautiful mosaic look to your embossing powder. So it's a really fun mixed media embossing powder to play with. All right, so now that my bird flourish is done, we are going to start decorating our card. So you're going to receive 5 of these cards in your kit, as well as the envelopes, and they're already going to have the 2-inch Tear-ific tape on them. And now we're going to begin to stamp. So I'm going to first take my brush stroke stamp, and I'm going to dip it in my Versamark. Sorry, it was upside down. So I'm going to ink that up, and I am going to stamp it. This stamp that I'm doing right now is this bottom base right here. So I'm stamping out that full brush stroke. So you want to make sure it fits in that entire section down there. And this is the fold line right here. So the heavy part is here, and then it comes out to the lighter brush marks on this end. You'll see after we heat it. So I'm going to do one stamp there, and then I'm actually going to do some edging. So here is the fold of my card. And I'm going to take the brushed parts, and I'm just going to do a little extra stamping all around it to create a really fun background. And we're going to do some long ones, some short ones. And this look was inspired by some of the wonderful designers on our design team. When they got a hold of this stamp set, they did a lot of really fun, creative things with it. So now that we've got our brush strokes down, next I'm going to take this little splatter stamp, which is really fun, and I'm going to dip that into my Versamark, and I'm just going to go over some of the brush marks, little brush strokes, which is really fun. Just kind of create more of that mixed media look. And then I'm going to take my embossing powder again and just sprinkle our really fun mint julep embossing powder right over that. It's okay if you get it on the backing of your tape. Sprinkle, tap that off. Now at this point you could take a dry brush, or I'm just going to take my dry finger and just wipe off the extra embossing powder. So here we have it before we go and heat set it. Alright, so now I'm going to give it just a little heat, make sure everything is nice and melted. Okay, once you have embossed all of your embossing powder, the mint julep on there, we are actually done now with the mint julep. And I'm going to go ahead and pick whatever saying stamp I want to use. So you have Sparkle, Congrats, Thanks, and Celebrate. I am going to take Celebrate, and I'm going to get it nice and inked up in the Versamark. And I've already lined it up so the grid mark on my acrylic block is a straight line under the word. So whenever you're using words that are on the static cling and you don't actually see the image through it, you want to make sure you take advantage of these grid lines and make sure it's nice and straight. So then when you go and you stamp your image, it is going to be in a straight line on your card. Now, I am not using embossing powder for this technique, so I stamped my congrats right over my already heat set and embossed design. And now I am going to take my beautiful rose gold microfine glitter and tap that off, and now you see congrats. Now we all know Versamark and glitter do not stick, but the trick here is to heat set it. So I am going to heat set it, and what I'm doing is re-melting the embossing powder, and the glitter just falls right into it. So now you have a beautifully stamped image with glitter, and you used no adhesive. So that is such a fun technique. So we're going to set that aside, put our glitter back. I am now going to peel off the backing of our Tear-ific tape. So if you want to recreate more of these cards, you can just pick up a roll of the 2-inch. There's also the 2.5-inch, which is really fun. I am now going to, okay, so once you have completed all of your heat embossing, you're going to peel off the backing, take your beautiful bird flourish. I'm going to set that down onto my super sticky Tear-ific tape. I'm going to now take my rose gold glitter. So the nice thing is your Tear-ific tape not only acts as an embellishment, it also acts as the adhesive. So we are adhering our flourish and our glitter to be part of the card design. So I am making sure that my bird flourish is nice and adhered while rubbing in my Tear-ific tape to my glitter to my Tear-ific tape. Okay, give it a good tap. Take your dry glitter brush, wipe that down, and voila. Okay, so next we are going to stick our Ami Gabby pull ribbon. All right, the very last exciting addition to our video kit club this month is the pull ribbon by Ami Gabby. So this is a fun sheer peach pull ribbon. Goes really nicely with the rose gold microfine glitter, and the pretty mint julep embossing powder. And what you're going to do is find the ribbon, the strings on the ends, pull them together at the same time, and then you're going to tie it in a knot 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And you get 2.5 feet in your video kit. So what you want to do is cut about 6 inches per card. So now that I've got my really beautiful flower, I'm going to take my glue dot and I am going to stick it to the back of my flower. And then I'm going to take these strings and I'm going to use them as an embellishment as well. So I just flopped them over so they can add an additional fun embellishment. All right, so now I'm going to stick that right here's a good spot. And my card is complete. So thank you so much for watching. You've got 2 different options this month. You can do the 2 birds. I added a little bit of glitter in there when I heat set it the last time with the magic speckle. So you've got the 2 different card options, all these wonderful sayings. Make sure the orientation of your bird is going the correct way when you emboss it. So check that out before you do it too. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon.